Okay, we're going first, right? Public Works? Public Works will come to order. We all here?
There's just four of us.
Oh.
Alderman Turner's excused.
That's right. 4 members present, 1 excused. We will start out with item 10, which was called out of the consent agenda. Resolution 2024-0447, resolution to approve bid of Level Up Construction Incorporated for the Liberty Heights Park Pavilion Project, a community development block grant project in the city of West Dallas in the amount of $1,279,630. Please, join us.
Thank you. Patrick and I asked for this to be pulled out tonight because the resolution is only addressing the cost of the construction for the pavilion. He wanted to make sure that we shared what the total budget of the project would be, which is around $1.5 million. It includes the demolition of the existing building, which is a separate budget, separate bid item because of the asbestos removal and things like that that have to be there. So that's a separate, that wasn't included in the construction. Then there's some other items such as when Tony talked this earlier tonight about the fiber going to the Liberty Park. Well, we have to pull it back first to be able to construct the building because some of the locations of that fiber need to be moved. The building isn't in the same location. It's shifting a little bit. It's getting a little bit bigger. So there's some additional fiber costs that are going to be incurred in that, and that's a separate contract. We have a separate contractor that does that work for the city. So, and then there's some furniture items that will have to be purchased, a new refrigerator, new microwaves, new stoves that are being upgraded, included in there, new chairs and those kinds of things. So all in, we're estimating the budget at $1.5 million. So if we wanted to give ourselves a little cushion, 1.6 would be the budget that we would want to ask you to approve, and then approve the award of the contract to the contractor for the $1.2 million and change.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Alderman Haas.
Yeah, so with that, and thank you for explaining all of that to us, Melinda. Right, this is still a worthwhile project that we have the funding for. I think we definitely want to proceed on this. I move approval.
As amended, correct?
No, we don't have an amendment.
We don't have an amendment.
It's still the same number,
Okay.
but, and tell me if I'm wrong, Melinda. Yeah, still the same number, but just, you wanted us to know that it's gonna cost more than that. That's
number.
not
I thought like
the
item
full
10.
input.
I thought, what is he talking
Yeah,
about?
otherwise we'd have to change the
Right,
whole file.
right. But we just
Yeah.
want you to know that there's
Yeah.
a bigger budget. Other contracts are going to come forward, so don't be,
Okay.
like, everybody's aware of what's happening, so.
That is
It's been
exactly
moved.
what the council
I'm
would
sorry.
do.
It's been moved and seconded, or no, it hasn't been seconded,
I
has it?
seconded.
Oh,
There was
okay.
a second.
Now it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now we will go back to the,
Chairman Rowe, may I ask
Please.
a question first?
Sure.
Before I place my vote? I just want, for clarity purposes, I think this is a great project. However, who besides, the general community will be utilizing the building? Will the West Dallas Rec Department, for example, be utilizing the space at all?
Yes.
They will be. Okay,
Yes.
is there any shared costs with them on this?
I know that, they have been asked to participate in it. I haven't been in on those discussions, so I don't know where they stand.
Okay, so is it a possibility that they could potentially have some sort of,
I know Patrick's asked them.
Yeah, I haven't been part of those
Okay.
discussions either. I know we are looking forward to using it as a polling place again. as
Okay.
It was previously used as a polling place.
so it's going to be a multifaceted community
Yes. Yes.
center. It's
Yes.
not exclusive just to Liberty Heights neighborhood or otherwise. We've got other resources that are going to be used there as well. So we have rec department, we have polling place. I was just curious on the rec department because that's for pay programming. And if that's the case, then they should be doing a little bit of a kickback for that as well.
I know Patrick's been in conversations with them, and
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's all I know about it.
Okay,
I know
well,
they do
hopefully,
s-
just in hearing that, that would be my request as a representative, to share some of that cost. So that's all I have. And back to you, Alderman
Great.
Root.
All right, we'll go to item 36 now.
Oh, and
Resolution,
I'll vote yes, because I didn't vote, so for the record, yes.
okay,
Thank you.
I'm so sorry.
duly noted.
Thank you.
Item 36, Resolution 2024-0351, resolution on the vacation and discontinuance of part of an alley located north of West Hicks Street between South 73rd and South 74th.
Move
Was
for
our
approval?
public hearing earlier.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Did I skip one?
Yeah, 35.
I'm sorry, why didn't you tell me right away? That-
Well,
that
I
other
was,
guy
I
used
was
to all the time.
waiting.
Till I-
Who's your who's your
Yeah,
vice
well,
chair?
he-
He's at home, resting.
That's right, it is Turner.
It is Turner.
Item 35, Resolution 2024-0395, resolution authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into a pilot agreement between the City of West Allis and Lime for short-term commercial rental of scooters. And I see we have Steve Scher stepping up to the plate, and there are a few things he wants to share, including that dollar figure for the,
Yeah. Did everyone receive a copy of the, of Lime's edits to Kale's pilot agreement?
Yes,
Okay.
I did.
And if there's any questions, be happy to go through that to the best of my knowledge, but and I apologize you didn't receive these sooner. Kale had reviewed this, and I just saw them at about 5:30, so we were all in the committee of the whole. But with that being said, the changes are outlined in red. The rest of the agreement would stay the same. This agreement, the pilot agreement with Lime would extend till the end of the year, at which point it would expire, and then next year, if Lime is interested in pursuing, if the city's interested in pursuing, we would enter into a mutual agreement with them next year at some point. With respect to the administrative fee, item 13, Kale's asking, or what is the administrative fee? And basically, they didn't disclose it here, but in speaking with Lime, they will offer us basically the same deal as Wauwatosa, which is basically $1,500 annually, with 10 cents per ride originating in West Allis. So we're going to have, if approved, they would roll out roughly about 150 to 200 units or scooters within West Allis, and that would, if originating here in trips originating here in West Allis, would be 10 cents per ride plus $1,500 annually.
okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Alderwoman Grisham.
If I was going to take some words from you, please speak first. I'm sorry.
No, go
Just-
ahead,
okay.
please.
Steve, thank you so much for working on this. Alderwoman Keene and I are super excited that we're hoping to bring this to the city with a yes vote from everyone. With that being said, this is a short window of rolling out these scooters for this time of year. So, and being it's a pilot, I just want everybody to be mindful of that if we're getting calls from residents or otherwise, if this is approved, because I think a full summer probably would have been ideal, but we're entering the end of the summer. So I appreciate all the work that your department has been doing on it, and I'm comfortable with the agreement. I would move to approve. I do move to approve.
And I'll second, but I have one more question.
Alderman
Mr.
Haas,
Chair.
and then I'll go, I have a question too.
And Steve and the two assistant city attorneys here, we got double assistant city attorneys today. My question is, has the city attorney's office reviewed that? Has it been Kale, and Kale approves, or his representative approves the agreement?
I'm not sure if Rebecca or Allison have seen the agreement, but Kale, I've been working directly with Kale on this. And in Kale's opinion of the Lime edits, he said it does reduce some of the city protections that he had built into the pilot that he had drafted and shared with Lime. However, it's not unreasonable ask of Lime, of what they've shared here this evening. So, and that being said, I guess it is, it's up for consideration, and certainly we're nearing the the end of the year, we're sort of on that side of the, that half of the year where we're coming to 2025. But, if the council so chooses to approve this evening, we would enter into the agreement. We would work with Lime on, geofencing the areas within the city where we absolutely don't want scooters. The fairgrounds is one of those places that the fair has indicated fence us off. We don't want, they would work with us perhaps next year on parking and accommodations for scooters within the fair park grounds, but not this year, just given the timing of this. So,
Thank you.
sure.
Okay, I have my marked up copies upstairs, so could you just give me a couple highlights as to why did Lime pull it from our last meeting?
As of the last meeting, their council had not reviewed Kale's pilot agreement.
Oh,
So
okay.
it wasn't ready at that point
Okay.
on their end, and now they've gotten back to us, late, but those edits are before you here.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Understood.
And I'll add, because Kale is an overachiever, he took their agreement and completely changed it, and Wauwatosa's agreement and changed it to
Yeah.
make it better in Kale's mind.
Yeah.
And
And
at West
he's right.
Dallas's own.
Yeah. Well, he gets paid the same.
I know, geez.
Whether he bills
All
or
right, it's
not.
been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, we're adjourned.
Okay. That means I am on. So, we are going to call Public Safety Committee to order. Let the record reflect that 4 of our 5 committee members are present, and Alderman Ray Turner is excused. We'll begin with item 45, 2024-0476, which is a notice of non-renewal of an operator's license bartender Class D operator application for Tina Mankowski. Just for your awareness, we did get communication that Tina Mankowski's father is having surgery today and in Madison. So she cannot make it. She did contact Mayor Devine with this request, and he forwarded it to me, and I okayed it, considering the special circumstances. So we are going to hold item number 45. Moving along, we have items 46 through 48 we are going to take separately. However, I just want the record to reflect that these are all notices of non-renewal. So there's going to be a protocol in which we follow tonight, and it is basically a hearing procedure guide. And this is convening the hearing. This hearing is being heard by the Public Safety Committee of the Common Council of the City of West Dallas. I, Suzette Grisham, the committee chair. I am Suzette Grisham, the committee chair. This hearing is governed by the Wisconsin statutes which regulate alcohol licenses, specifically Section 125-12 of the Wisconsin state statutes. This matter concerns the application for renewal of bartenders' licenses. And is it acceptable, Rebecca, that I call out all names since
That's
it's?
fine.
Okay, so I don't have to repeat this for each individual. So with that being said, we have a notice of non-renewal for Kayla Secchi, notice of non-renewal for Chris Schutte, and a notice of non-renewal for Eliris Rios Martinez. And these are all bartender Class D operator licenses.
Madam Chair.
Yes?
Sir, are you Chris Schutte? Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right, okay. The following Public Safety Committee members are present for this hearing, which would be Alderman Halverson, Alderman Rote, Alderman Haas, and Suzette Grisham, Committee Chair. I would ask that all attorneys and/or parties named to state their appearances for the record. Are there any attorneys for those that are here? Okay. And I'm going to offer prosecution to introduce herself.
Yes, Allison Childs for the City of West Dallas.
Okay, and then we have advisors to the committee.
Attorney Rebecca Monty.
Okay, thank you. Explaining the nature of the hearing, I'm going to, the licensee's name, Mr. Schutte. The purpose of this hearing, should we have Mr. Schutte come up?
Yeah, is there
I'm so
another-
sorry.
is
Are there any others?
individual present?
Okay, so Mr. Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Mr. Shudi, I apologize.
Thank you.
Kind of sometimes a fish out of water myself, so bear with me. So, Mr. Shudi, the purpose of this hearing is for the committee to make a decision as it relates to the issuance of your bartender's license. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 12504 and 12512 of the Wisconsin statutes, as well as Section 90220 of the West Allis Revised Municipal Code, this hearing has been convened for the purpose of determining whether a bartender's license should be issued to you. This committee will examine all the evidence concerning your criminal, traffic, and other offense records and any evidence of rehabilitation as presented at this hearing. The committee will evaluate and then impartially weigh the evidence that is presented in order to determine whether or not you can be issued a bartender's license based solely upon the evidence introduced at this hearing. This hearing is open to the public. Verbatim record of these proceedings is being made by audio recording. Please be sure to speak loudly and clearly so the entire hearing is recorded. You are entitled to be represented by an attorney, but you have elected not to proceed with counsel. Is that correct?
My attorney told me he didn't need to be here.
Okay, fair enough. Attorney Allison Childs is here to act as prosecutor and present evidence to the committee on behalf of the West Allis Police Department as it concerns your record of criminal, traffic, and/or other offenses that affect your ability to possess a bartending license under Wisconsin State Statute 12504. Attorney Rebecca Monty is here as legal advisor for the committee to provide advice on any questions of law or procedure. Attorney Monty may also direct questions to the witness on behalf of the committee. You may present evidence on your behalf, call and examine your own witnesses, and cross-examine any of the prosecutor's witnesses against you. All witnesses will be sworn under oath before testifying. Both the prosecutor and licensee are limited to a maximum of 1 hour each to present for the presentation of testimony and evidence. This time does not include cross-examination or questions from the committee or the city attorney representing the committee. The committee chair has the discretion to extend the time for presentation of testimony to assure a full and fair hearing. The committee chair has the final ability to rule upon all questions, objections, and motions as to procedural matters, admissibility of evidence, and any other similar issues. Therefore, all objections, procedural questions, and motions should be directed to the committee chair. You as a licensee may testify on your behalf with regard to your qualifications for issuance of a bartending license pursuant to statute. Know that anything you say in your testimony will be considered as evidence, and you may be cross-examined regarding the allegations of the complaint. Be aware that if the committee believes there is sufficient proof that you do not qualify for a bartending license, then the committee may recommend to the Common Council that your license be suspended, revoked, or not renewed. The Common Council, it's flying. Okay, where did I get lost here?
Page 3.
I'm on page 3. May accept or reject the committee's recommendations and then take action against your license accordingly. Mr. Shudi, you were sent a notice of non-renewal containing both the reasons for non-renewal and information regarding the scheduling of this hearing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, do you acknowledge that you received this letter, which you just answered? I request that the clerk append to the record of this hearing a copy of the notice of non-renewal and any other notices regarding the scheduling of today's hearing as the licensee has acknowledged receiving. At this time, the prosecuting attorney, Ms. Childs, will present evidence as to the record of the licensee appearing before the committee. All witnesses who testify that's my stuff. So we're going to swear all people who testify before the committee in. And at this time, do I do it individually or just collectively?
I believe the only witness is going to be Mr. Shudi.
Okay, so Mr. Shudi, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me see.
Since he's the only one testifying.
I figure we don't have to do any of the other, right?
Don't have to do much else,
Okay,
yeah.
does any member of the committee, oh, well, no, we're gonna move on to
Let her
Ms.
go.
Childs.
Yep.
Yes, okay, the floor is yours.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Madam Chair. For my part this evening, I'll be very brief, and I'll just call Mr. Shudi himself at this time. So, sir, I have a few questions for you about your record here. Back in 2014, were you convicted of operating while intoxicated?
Yes.
Back in 2020, did you have a conviction related to an accident relating to property damage?
No.
Okay.
No.
Back in 2023, did you have a conviction related to a defective speedometer?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any open cases at this time?
Yes.
Okay, and for what?
For OWI second.
Okay. Would there also be an operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration second as well?
What was that?
Do you also have a charge for operating with a prohibited alcohol concentration second offense as well?
No.
No?
It was just for OWI second.
Okay. Is that currently in the court process?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any idea where that's heading at this time?
I go back on August 21st is my next court date.
Okay. Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes.
It is valid now, okay.
I have a occupational.
Okay. All right. Well, given that that is the only new thing, I believe, for the committee to consider, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, at this time, does any of the members of the committee wish to ask questions of the witness?
I will if you guys don't mind.
Please, please
Okay.
take the floor.
So you have a pending OWI, and where is that pending, in Milwaukee County?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And what date were you arrested for that?
February 17th?
Of this year?
Yes.
And you said you don't believe you have a prohibited alcohol concentration. Do you know if you got,
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
so that means you were above a .08. Do you know?
I was, yes.
Okay,
I'm sorry. If
yeah. And so you know that.
I will have probably a breathalyzer in my car for a year, is what my lawyer said.
Okay. And you know you were above a .08. Do you know what you were? Do you have the?
I don't.
You don't remember the results? Okay. And you said you have an occupational, is that for work?
Yes.
For your bartending job?
Yes, Ekbar, yeah.
I don't think I have anything else unless you guys have stuff to ask.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, I have a question for Ms. Monty.
Please, Alderman
Yes.
Huss.
So that prohibited alcohol concentration, assuming that it is a charge, that would be, and the OWI second, that's the same offense. Those are not two
Correct, yes.
offenses.
So it's
One
typically charged together, but you only get punished once, even if convicted of both. So
Okay.
they are kind of the same thing. So a lot of people don't realize that there's two separate charges.
Yeah, and I said same offense, they're actually two different offenses, but the same event
Correct.
is what I mean to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question, Ms. Monty. This February 17th occurrence of the second OWI, that has not been discharged, correct? It's pending?
Right. He
Pending.
says it's
Okay, yeah,
pending and he
okay,
has
so-
court again in August.
Okay,
so-
so there would be no actionable items of rehabilitation as it's not been a conviction as of yet. That would be my question to you. What have you done,
I
like,
went through assessment. I had to talk through assessment. They said I didn't have to go to classes, but I should
Okay.
still go to court because due to the ticket, I'll probably have a breathalyzer in my car for a year.
okay,
So that makes sense, because to get your occupational, you usually have to do that
Right.
alcohol and other drug assessment.
Yeah.
So he must have done that if he has his occupational license. I mean, there is a way to verify that
Right,
he actually
and-
has the license, the occupational.
and that was gonna be my question, obviously. I know that there would have to be some steps that you had to take in order to get your
Yeah, my lawyer said
occupational.
I had to do the assessment by phone, so then they
Okay.
said they'll send it to my lawyer and then to me, that I do not have to go to classes, but that I still need to go to court for my fine.
Okay, and Mr. Schutte, I heard you say something about the ECBAR. Is that where you're employed?
Yes,
Okay.
with Melanie.
And is
yes.
this a full-time position for you, where you?
Yeah, I used to work at a Perfect Install, which is right in West Dallas here on 83rd Street, and I had a retinal detachment in my eye, so I currently can't do that with my vision.
Okay,
So Mel actually hired me on to be blind and bartend, so
Yeah.
sometimes Captain and Cokes would be vodkas, and it's just because of my blindness. but-
That happens. So your first offense of OWI was back in 2014?
14, yeah,
So we have
10 years ago. yeah.
10 years ago, okay. And I'm not going to go into questions surrounding this, because obviously it's not a conviction as of yet. One of the reasons, obviously, you're here is we have great concerns of, the amount of interaction you've had with law, and
Oh, I get it, yes.
and there was another one, which was a defective speedometer. That
I think it
offense
was a
to
s-
me is
I think it was
a
a
speeding
speeding
ticket
ticket.
that gets reduced down. Okay. Is there anybody else to have any questions at this point?
Yeah, I have a
Go ahead.
follow-up question.
Go ahead, Alderman Haas.
Yeah, Mr. Schutte, okay, so you have the alcohol assessment. Have you gotten the results of that assessment yet?
It was that I didn't have to go to the classes.
Okay.
So that was my first step of going to court, making sure that I did an assessment before I went to court to see if I had to go to classes or not. Now that when I go to court in August, I think might be my final court date since it happened in February, but it's one of those where they'll let me know about, for the year of the install of a breathalyzer, and I had that in my first time too, so I'm familiar with it.
You had the assessment. Did they recommend treatment
They
for
did not.
alcohol abuse? Okay,
Yeah, they did not.
so you're not undergoing any treatment for alcohol abuse?
I am not.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, does any other committee members have any questions? Do you have any follow-up questions, Ms. Monty?
No.
Okay. This is moving very quickly. Typically, we would go into closed session on this, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have the verbiage for a closed section.
Have it.
It's not in the agenda.
You don't have it posted, so we will not go into closed session as it's not posted.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'm comfortable discussing this issue right now.
Okay.
Even with the individual in front of us.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's been discussed already. Mr. Schutte, I think you understand the concern of our committee.
Of course.
When you're a bartender, you have to make choices for other people, and on one occasion, you didn't make a choice that was an appropriate choice. On the second occasion, well, it's still being litigated. We're not necessarily holding that against you. We want you to know we're very concerned
Sure.
about that, and especially if it's a third time, then that's a really big problem
Of course.
for this committee and for this council. But with all of that, I would move to dismiss the non-renewal, and I'm in favor of renewing Mr. Schutte's license.
Okay, and I appreciate that, Alderman Haas, and I want to echo that to you, Mr. Schutte.
Thank you.
Because Alderman Haas stated it very well, that we want you to be able to have this job and
I appreciate it.
succeed. But you have to be very mindful of what your choices are in the future. So we hope that we are not going to see you back if this motion to dismiss is approved.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so I will second. So there's been a motion and a second. Do we have to do a roll call vote, or?
We should, just to
Okay,
be sure.
so, roll call vote. Alderman Haas.
I on the motion to dismiss, so I'm in favor of dismissing.
Okay,
Aye.
because we're gonna have two motions on this, correct? First, we motion dismiss. Okay, Alderman Rote.
Aye.
Alderman Halverson. I'm so sorry. And the chair votes aye. So we need a new motion.
I move for approval of the operator's license for Chris Schutte.
Okay, second. And roll call vote would be Alderman Haas,
Aye.
Alderman Rote,
Aye.
Alderman Halverson,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye.
Thank you.
Okay? You're good to go. So, what would be the process for,
Want to see you again.
Nah, I know.
yeah, we
I'm not
don't.
very good looking anyway, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
So what will be the process for Mr.
I did
Schutte going
apply
forward?
for my license in June, and it was
Okay.
denied as of Mel trying to make the schedule for August.
Direct the question at her. She's the clerk. She's in charge.
Would I have my license as of today, or would it be,
It'll be tomorrow morning.
okay, the 31st?
Yeah.
I'll let Mel know, yeah.
Yeah. So
Appreciate
you're
it.
still supervised bartender right now?
Huh?
I said you're still a
Yeah, I'm the
supervised
cook.
bartender
I'm the
until
cook.
tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Schutte, thank you very much.
Cheers.
All right, and does it appear that we don't have Kayla here this evening? Kayla Siki?
Anybody else?
Pardon me?
It looks like we don't have anybody else.
Right, so the two, well, we have to take it both at the same time. So item 46, 2024, 0497, notice of non-renewal for operator's license, bartender Class D operator application for Kayla Saki. She is not present. Did we hear anything from her at all? Okay, is there a motion?
I move we deny, well, how are we, what's the verbiage? I approve the non-renewal, the effect being to deny the license.
Okay, and I second. So there's been a motion and a second. Do we do roll call on this as well? Okay, I'm gonna start to my right. I'm screwing up your name. Alderman Halverson.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Alderman Rote.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
And this is based on non-appearance
And
the
record.
Record.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
Yep,
speaking for
based
you.
on
You made the motion.
non-appearance in the record, thank you, Ms.
Okay.
Brill. Yep.
All right, item 48, notice of non-renewal, boy. 2024-0520 of an operator's license, bartender Class D operator for Aliris Rios Martinez. Martinez has not called or communicated with us either. Okay, is there a motion on the floor?
I move for approval of the non-renewal based on the record and non-appearance, and with the effect being to deny the license.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Alderman Halverson.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Alderman Rote.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Okay, do we have a motion for adjournment?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned.